Uh,
If you got leaving on your mind, tell me now, get it over. Hurt me now, get it over. If you've got leaving on your mind, if there's a new love in your heart, tell me now, get it over. Hurt me now, get it over. If there's a new love in your heart, don't leave me here in a world filled with dreams that might have been. Hurt me now, get it over, so I may learn to love again. If there's a new love in your heart, tell me now, get it over. Hurt me now, get it over. If there's a new love in your heart, hurt me now, get it over. If there's a new love in your heart. There.
Welcome to Inside the Artist Mind with your hosts, Jay Harmon and Sally Barnard. Jay and Sally have always wondered what the inspiration is that drives others to create and express their art. Inside the Artist Mind will dive into the mind of the artist and teach us more than we ever knew. Enjoy the show.
Hi, and welcome to Inside the Artist Mind. This is another great day that we have. We have some special guests with us today, and I think you're going to have a great time. I'm Jay Harmon, and this is
Sally Barnard. It's going to be a little different today because
Little bit.
We have two guests with us.
Uh-huh.
Before we start, I want to just tell you, you're absolutely amazing. I love that song, and I love the way you sang it. You sounded just like that.
And that's our first guest is Marcy Minx, and she is a very creative person. She is an artist, a singer, and former restaurant owner, and she is very much a creative individual, and we'd like to welcome her to our show. And if you could start by just telling us a little bit about your background, yourself, and what you do.
My name is Marcy Miller, but I go by Marcy Minx as my artist name. I'm originally from Louisville, Kentucky, but I've lived in South Florida since 2003. I've been an artist all my life. I'm always creative. I'm always crafting something. I love fashion. I love anything that has color, that's vibrant, brings joy. I like to bring joy to people. I also do custom pet portraits often. That's what I do mostly. But if I do anything that's like my own art, which I was trying to figure out what that style would be, because I can recreate almost anything. Maybe not the best, but I'm pretty good at most things when I go to do it. If it's creative, I can usually figure it out. So I have one of these guys behind me. You can't really see it, but I've been working on my mannequins. When I was growing up, I loved the movie Mannequin. I love mannequins. I just think they're kind of like have this creepy, cool vibe, and I started painting them. I love polka dots, as you can see. Boop, boop, boop. Yayoi Kusama is one of my favorites. She's the artist that does the polka dots. I don't know if you're familiar with her, but all of her pieces always bring me joy, and she does the infinity rooms and stuff. So I started adding polka dots to the things that I do. So I do statues too.
Great.
But mostly, yeah. So I'm trying to still figure out my own style, but I started adding my accessories to the mannequins, and it's a little fetishy, it's a little weird, but I believe that art's supposed to make you feel something and like have you go, and like, you know.
It does. I mean, I think as an artist, you will kind of go along and you find what is it that's going to make you feel the best.
I was going to.
And,
I'm sorry, Jay.
no, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, what did you start off by when you were painting? Was it a polka? But the dots are beautiful.
In general?
was it the pets or?
So I've always painted like anything that I saw that I liked. I just try to recreate it, like in general. So I didn't really have like my own style.
Right.
I started painting pets like about 14 years ago, maybe more. I don't know at this point. I've painted over, I think, 250, 300 range.
Wow.
I was trying to see if I could actually calculate it, but it might be too challenging. But I do horses and cats. And, I've done, mostly dogs because that's I have mostly
Right.
dogs.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I've done a lot of dog pet portraits and and horses and different pets,
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun.
I call mine portraits because I think it's like a little
Portraits. I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good.
Yeah.
I have to just mention, which I thought was incredible, just as an afterthought, because you're doing so many things. I think Freddie said to you, "Do you sing?" And you casually said, "Yeah, I sing." And then this amazing voice comes out. I'm going, "Oh my gosh!"
I know. And then we've got Patsy
sing?
Cline here. I'm like,
I just had to
wow.
bring that up
You
because
know, and yeah.
and you do your art is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
But to
As
have
long
a
as I'm
voice like
creating,
that
I'm
too,
happy.
yes,
But,
You're creating, and you said you used to have a restaurant. Is that right? What?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I used to own it was open for 8 years. It was called Bubbles and Pearls inside of Wilton Manors. And I owned it with my ex-wife. It's still there, but right now it's closed for reservation, or not well, they will have reservations, but renovations, and she's doing a whole new concept, keeping the name, but I'm not exactly sure what she's going to be selling. I kind of want to be not in the know of that because so I don't want to spill any beans or anything.
Right.
But she'll be opening up shortly, and our social media is the same. So if you follow it on social media,
Great. And
she's
what's the
been doing
name of that
updates.
again?
Bubbles and Pearls.
Bubbles
Yeah, it was
and
a
Pearls.
champagne
That's
raw bar, oyster bar. Yeah. But yeah, so I do miss the oysters. I used to eat oysters almost every day. I got a tattoo of an oyster.
I love your tattoos too.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster is one of my
absolutely.
favorite sayings.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's
You're certainly a very interesting lady.
Thank
Some
you.
beautiful things. And I love the
yeah.
dogs. I mean, people
Thank
must,
you.
I'm sure they just cherish that because if you're painting, because unfortunately dogs don't have the same amount of
Yeah.
time to live. Well, they do in dog time, but
Yeah.
in dog
so
years
it's
they
a
do, yeah.
beautiful, beautiful thing to
Thank
have
you.
Yeah.
that
They
memory.
keep me busy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also some of the pictures that you've done that we have here that aren't on the set right now, but you do some beautiful mandalas,
Thank you.
and those are incredible.
I must, without, before we,
I
just this
do.
is incredible.
Really.
What is that? What do you call that?
It's
this one.
some sort of like a mosaic. I know you can't really see it, but maybe I can.
Oh,
bring
they
it in
haven't.
a little
Oh,
bit.
we're talking.
Closer.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
it
that's
is. Just
perfect.
throw it
There
in
we
there.
Isn't that lovely,
Yeah.
Jay?
This
It's
is my
beautiful.
disco kin.
That's a
I don't have any fingertips left over from doing this type of work.
Oh, he lost his hat.
lost his hat.
It's okay. It doesn't go with it anyways, but I
Oh.
also paint brims of hats, whatever you
Oh,
want. Like I do.
Okay, you did the hat. That's
cheetah
that's so good.
print. Yeah, they're fun. But I also do like mandalas and whatever anybody.
Yeah, that was
requests.
great.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A
So
little fun because, like I said, I like fashion too. So it's like, how can you add art and fashion?
That's
Which
great.
is what
We
you're
were
saying.
just
You're
talking about,
exactly.
yes, which I'm
Yeah.
actually doing too. And my art is going to go
Yeah.
on clothing. I think it's
I would
very
love to do that
interesting,
too.
yes. I didn't actually recognize when they were showing me pictures. I'm going, well, that looks like my art. I didn't even recognize it on clothing.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Yeah, but everything that you do looks like you have a lot of fun doing it. I
Yeah,
can
I
tell
try
just
to.
from looking at it, and you get a lot of enjoyment
Yeah.
out of it, and everybody who sees it gets a lot of enjoyment out of it. And so that's what the purpose of many artists is
Yeah.
is to create something enjoyable for people and for themselves.
Right.
Which I always talk about, follow your passion, but you have quite a few passions here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do.
Yeah,
I try
really.
to like be mindful of that
Beautiful.
too, because it's like
No,
I put energy as it comes. You know, like
That's
if I want to
fine.
do that, I
Yeah.
focus on that. If I want to
Yeah.
do more of that, I do that too.
that's how I work, and I
Yeah.
think it's good because
never get bored.
you tell yourself
Yeah.
basically by following
You always
your passion.
have
You know
always
when
have
you-
something to do. Always, you know, and it's
shows.
nice. Yeah.
Keeps it exciting.
It certainly shows
Yeah.
beautifully.
And it
Beautiful.
applies to different people. Like if you don't like that, you might like that. If you don't like that,
Yeah.
you might like
I
something
can't get
else,
over
so.
the singing because you just, well,
might like
yeah,
that
I
too.
sing.
I know, yeah. If you don't like
just
that,
like
well,
an
you
might
afterthought.
like my food.
Yeah, and your food, you cook. This is
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, this
beautiful.
is this
Thank
is
you.
multi creativity. I would
Yeah,
say. You
thank
know.
you.
That,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
you know, it's so.
Multitasking, which
Yeah.
I'm a multitasker for sure.
yes, you sure are. That's
Yeah.
lovely. Well, I'm
Absolutely.
glad that you came today, so
Yeah.
that you're able to be on this show
Thank
with
you for
us.
having me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay,
And,
so
anyway, thank you for for dropping by and being with us today, and we really enjoy this. This is one of the reasons why we have this show for people like Marcy, and can come on and just talk a little bit about what they do, and if anybody has any ideas that they would like to come on our show, just please let us know at the studio at 1-888-994-4995, and we'd be more than happy to have you on our show with us.
this was
Okay.
certainly a pleasant surprise because
Thank you.
we never sometimes know who our guests are.
There you go.
And then here you are.
There you
I
are.
am.
Beautiful.
So we're going to take a little break here, and when we come back, we have another great guest who we will be introducing in just a minute. So stay with us.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come on down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
A True Story, Call Me Zena, is the telling of Sally Barnard. Born in London, England at the end of the Second World War, she came into the U.S. in 1979. A mother of two and a grandmother of four, she settled in Florida and worked in real estate. While going through a difficult time in her life, she was admitted into a hospital overnight in December of 2005. While settling back into her life, she began having vivid dreams and documenting them. By the third dream, a lady gave her a message to draw. With no artistic background or interest into art or history, Sally listened to her dreams and grabbed a paper and crayons. Today, she has over 150 pieces of inspiring art and poetry. This book follows her journey and interpretations of these messages. She describes in detail on how she is able to astral a project and who she has met along her travels, including her spirit guides. This book will show you how anything is possible with an open mind. These events have changed Sally's life and direction, and this book will show you how to change yours. Purchase Call Me Zena on Amazon today, authorhouse.com and amazon.com.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, your family, your business, your peace of mind, you need reliable fire protection. Introducing All Fire Extinguisher Depot, Fire Extinguisher Service. Our certified technicians ensure your extinguishers are always ready to respond to emergencies. Before and after, we leave your fire safety in top-notch condition. Join the many satisfied clients who trust All Fire Extinguisher Depot for fire extinguisher service. Because when it comes to fire safety, there's no compromise. Contact All Fire Extinguisher Depot at 786-704-2750 to get your extinguisher serviced today. Your safety is our priority. That's at 786-704-2750. All Fire Extinguisher Depot, protecting what matters.
Welcome back to Inside the Artist's Mind with Jay Harmon and Sally Barnard. To be a part of the conversation, call 888-994-4995, Studio A. Now back to the show.
Hi, and welcome back. And today is an exciting show, and our second guest on the show today is a fantastic writer and author and very creative person. And let me introduce Frank Ruffolo. And I think Sally knows him pretty good.
Yes. Hi, Frank. Nice to see you on our show.
Oh.
I'm excited to see what you're going to talk about in your books. I do know a little bit, so I won't say anything. It's up to you what you want to tell the audience.
Yeah, so I write I've been writing now since 2007. I've got 14 books published.
Wow.
I write in various genres, faith-based science fiction, action, and murder mystery. So I have 3 different series that I'm working with. I have a standalone book, which is looking more and more prospect to being a movie. That's based on, it's called Stuck in Traffic. That's based on human trafficking. It's loosely based on actual occurrences. These are things that actually happen to people. So
Wow.
and human trafficking is United States is the largest market in the world for human trafficking. Dade County is number 1 in Florida, and Florida is number 3 in the United States.
Wow.
So,
That's really something. So.
and human trafficking is not just sex, so it's about a whole bunch of different stuff.
Right.
It's forced labor, sex, pedophilia, and organ harvesting too. That's why a lot of these people that go missing, you never find them again. So,
Well, it's great that you're bringing
Awareness.
You're
to
bringing
this,
awareness, of this, because this is something that needs to be dealt with.
yeah, something that should be brought to the forefront. Jim Caviezel did a great job in his movies, and that sort of woke everybody up. So we're trying to tap
It's
into
really
that,
not
so.
talked about enough.
Not enough.
I'm glad that you're doing this, Frank.
Yeah, that's what
We
we're
really
trying to
need
do.
to understand exactly what's going on.
Yeah. And my other favorite series is my faith-based science fiction series, which is based on the days leading up to Judgment Day. Is the first book. I don't do Judgment Day because nobody knows when it exactly is. So it's the days leading up to events in the world, which is going to lead up to Judgment Day. And the last book is 1,300 years after Judgment Day. So
1,300 years after.
after Judgment Day.
Oh,
so,
wow.
so it's like I said, it's faith-based science fiction.
Which is, I was just going to say, it's fiction, and yet, as we
It's,
know,
it's
a lot of
fiction
these
that way. It's
come about.
sometimes you can tell the truth better in fiction than you can.
Absolutely.
actual truth,
I
so
picked
the-
up on that, definitely, when I was
And the
looking at
last
your
the
book.
last book delves on man's lack of faith 1,300 years from now, and the 4 series show God's ever-loving judgment and ever-loving love and unconditional love on humans and the earth, but we keep making mistakes. And in the last book, God finally says, well, you got to pay for your mistakes. So he wreaks his judgment on earth, not with the flood this time. So you've got because
Interesting.
he's never said he said he'll never do a flood again, but he never
Right.
did.
Right.
He never did say he wouldn't punish us again. So
When did you start writing? Was it later in-
2007 is when I started
At
writing.
7?
2007.
Oh, I thought you said at 7. I was going to
in
say that's a very low.
2007.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was I was my wife and I were volunteers at a Virgin Mary apparition site in Hollywood, Florida for 20 years. And in fact, the statue of the Virgin Mary that's in the lobby of our studio came from that apparition site, which I restored. I was told that I had 2 muses. that would be helping me in my life. Archangel Uriel, which is he carries the wisdom of God, and Archangel Gabriel, which is the messenger.
Mhm.
So right after that, I was in purchasing. I was a purchasing manager for various companies
Really?
down here. And I would wake up in the morning. I have a Bible open in our room in our house. So before I would go to work every day, I would go to the Bible, flip open a page, and just read
Right.
whatever passage that was
Right.
my inspiration for the day. And this goes back to now 2007. I opened up one morning, and it was Luke 21:11, which is basically Jesus was telling his apostles what's going to happen when he returns again. Even though I didn't understand what he was saying.
Mhm.
There's going to be earthquakes and plagues in various places. There's going to be terrors in the sky and great signs. Okay, thank you. Went to work. 4 days in a row, I opened up the same passage.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, I think
There are no
So
coincidences.
there's no coincidences.
Yeah.
And that's when I started. And at the time I had started writing an action adventure book about terrorism in the United States. People trying to fight terrorism in the United States. And I had to stop writing that book. And then I wrote Gable's Chalice, which was my first book.
How long does it approximately? I'm sure every book is slightly different, but how long does it usually take you because you've written so many books?
It takes me around 5 weeks
Okay.
to write a book, say
Some probably.
400 pages, about 5
Wow,
weeks.
that's incredible. Frank.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It takes about a year to edit it.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
right.
So 5
That
weeks.
is the worst
plus a year.
part of
Yes,
writing
yeah.
is editing.
Yeah,
My
right.
beautiful wife Christine is my editor.
Right.
So I write the book, first draft, then I'll do maybe a second draft and third draft and fourth draft. Then she gets it, then it gets edited, and then there's a fifth draft and sixth draft and seventh draft.
Right.
So that's what it
Yeah.
that
I'm
really
sure
what
many
takes a
people
long
have
time.
set an amazing team, both of you
Yeah,
together.
but
I'm
that's
sure
what takes a long time. It
Right.
doesn't take a lot. It doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot of time to write it, but it takes a lot of time to
Yeah.
edit it.
So I guess in some of your books you probably have scriptural references that you refer to.
In most of in the sci-fi, in the faith-based science fiction books there's biblical references in those books. And my murder mystery books, not so much.
Right.
So,
Right. But whatever the different genre.
Yeah, it's a different genre, but they all have a message. All my books have a message, and what has curiously happened with my books is a lot of things that I have written about have come true.
That's
So
the very interesting thing.
So
I'm sure you have to be surprised yourself.
I'm never surprised.
Not now, but in the very beginning.
In the
were you?
beginning, I was
Yeah,
surprised,
that's
but not now.
interesting.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm shocked when
expect
I'll see a story and a new story come through, and I went, oh look, I wrote about that 4 years ago.
But in the very beginning, I'm sure you went, oh my gosh, I wrote about that.
yeah,
right?
in the beginning I didn't.
absolutely.
But I used to,
absolutely.
but I used to get, the voices in my head. I call them the
Right.
voices in my
I
head.
relate.
Yeah, so that's what usually happens. But I was getting when I was with the apparition side, I was also getting visions too. I don't get that many visions anymore, but I was getting visions about things that were going to happen. I had a vision about I didn't know it at the time, but I had a vision about 9/11 before it happened.
Oh, really?
The morning of 9/11,
On that morning.
before I went to work,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize what it was until after I came home and I saw my vision on the TV.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
And I went, oh.
Wow.
I
That
can
doesn't
relate-
surprise me
I do
anymore.
relate to
you,
that
Sally, you
because
do the
I've
same
had-
thing.
yes,
Doesn't surprise you anymore.
No,
it doesn't surprise me anymore either.
But you know what? You can have these visions, which I do too, but I don't always know when it's going to happen. So you
No,
feel
no,
so helpless.
you don't.
Suddenly see it and say, oh my gosh, I told my friends. But there it is, right there. I didn't know what day. I had one on a terrorist attack, actually, the actual place. And I'm going, this is exactly what I saw, but it was like 5 years later. So I can, it's, there's no other word but frustrating because you can't do anything about
No,
it.
you don't
right?
know.
So I
If you
definitely
knew at the
relate to it.
time, you could do something about it,
Of
but you
course.
don't. You get the
yeah.
vision and say, what the heck was that?
And people probably going, oh, no.
Yeah.
But at least you've voiced what you've seen to someone that could do maybe something about it.
Yeah, but for you to have it on the day of
Yeah,
That
you know,
morning.
the
was,
event.
yes, yes.
I had that vision. I
Right.
went, what the heck is this? I woke up and I
Right.
went,
Wow.
what that kind of weird thing is this? And then I went to, and then what it was is I had a vision of a tree
Uh-huh.
next to a fence, and then a big cloud came across and covered up the tree and covered the fence.
Wow.
And I'm going, I woke and it's, what the heck does that mean? I don't know what that means. That night, when they were showing
The
they were
videos,
showing
yeah.
videos
Yeah, yeah.
from Manhattan, when one of the towers came down,
Yeah.
somebody was taking a picture down the street,
Yeah.
and the cloud came up the street and covered the
The
tree.
whole, right.
I had the
Right.
same exact vision.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Wow.
it's-
That's,
yeah. I
you
know. And
But, I don't know, we talk all the time, there's no coincidences.
No, there's no
there is
coincidence.
no,
You know.
there is no such word
no
really. There is
coincidence.
no coincidence. Even people that you meet, it's not by they are part of your life.
Yeah.
Even if
Right.
it's just for a few minutes.
Yeah,
They're
in my sci-fi books, I wrote that they were going to terraform Mars because there was an underwater ocean in Mars, and now they just found an underwater ocean in Mars. So, I said they're going. In 2007, I wrote a book where they were going to mine for water on the moon, and for hydrogen and oxygen to make it fuel, and now that's what the Chinese want to do because they found water on the moon.
Right. Right. You come to the point. Well, okay,
Oh,
that's what
okay.
I read. I understand that too.
Yeah, they're going to be
Yeah.
coming to you and
They're
seeing
gonna
what.
they're gonna come to me.
Yeah.
I always joke to say there's always a van parked outside of my house.
Exactly. And I get, well, Sally said that, so I guess it's going to happen. But it's you do kind of take it in its stride at that point. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Very
so I've
interesting.
written 14 books. I've written 17 books. The other 3 haven't been released yet, and I've also written 3 screenplays, and I've started writing. I also started writing a sitcom.
Oh,
Well,
really?
7 episodes
that's
of a
gonna be
sitcom
interesting.
written, so-
very interesting.
And I'm an investigative journalist and just an all-round weirdo, I guess. I don't know.
We've got 2 amazing, talented people on our show
Oh,
today.
this is an incredible
Yeah.
day, I'll tell you.
Very
This is,
different, but
Very
very,
different.
both very
I'm
talented.
the written artist, and she's the visual.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
a visual and a singer, and,
And I'm kind of relating to everything you're talking about, except I have no voice. So
yeah, but it's see, that's what for everybody out there. That's what our show is about. Is about
Right.
talking to people who are creative and they have ideas and they want to express it somehow. And there are so many different ways that their creative ideas are expressed. And this is what we're trying to show: is that
I even wrote a poem that in my first novel, the serial killer used to leave as clues for he committed a crime.
that's
So, and I wrote a
amazing.
poem
Right.
that he used.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So,
I mean, I know.
you wanna hear
it's-
sure.
Absolutely. I think
So
we have
the
a
poem
few
was called
well,
Winter.
Well, oh, please. Yes.
Okay, because what was happening in that book is this serial killer was he would leave victims frozen different parts in Manhattan, in the first precinct area
Mhm.
that he would, and he was also a cannibal. So the bodies were missing parts. So I wrote a poem called Winter. And it says, sunlight ebbs from leafless limbs, silhouetting sky. Jack's breath numbs the diamond dew, as south the birds did fly. Winter's gray will take its toll on the unsuspecting few, as sunlight ebbs from lifeless limbs, and Jack's breath numbs the dew.
Wow!
Wow.
Oh
That's
boy!
gonna end our
boy,
show
that,
right now. That's amazing.
That's great. That would
What a way
look
to end
forward
the
to
show
reading
today.
that.
Thank you
And
both.
thank you. It's been
Thank you.
it's been a great show, and we're so happy to have you with us. Okay. And so join us again next week, and we'll see Inside the Artist's Mind.
A surprise for
Yeah.
us too. We never know who's going to be on the show. But
Right.
this was a lovely, amazing show
Right.
today. Thank you so much.
Okay, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Inside the Artist's Mind. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week as we explore more about the artist's passions and inspirations.